Alright, guys. So I know I said in my live stream I was going to do the review at Comic Universe, but certain things have come up which I'll discuss on the Comic Universe channel, and we'll go from there. So I decided to do this review here instead, and of course this is my review for It Chapter 2. Yeah, so just forewarning you guys, this is going to be minor spoilers. Nothing major, I assure you. There's going to be nothing major. Just a few minor spoilers to the movie. So it's nothing big. So, yeah. So what did I think of the movie? Honestly, it was good. I don't think it was bad. But honestly, I don't think it lived up to the hype that the first movie had back in 2017. I just don't think in any way, shape, or form that this movie could have lived up to the hype that the first movie generated. But having said that, though, I feel like it did a good job in its own right. I feel like it did its job well. I think it was a serviceable ending and a good ending. I think it was a good ending, and it's nice to have not a trilogy, not a shared universe, a nice little duology. Duology? I don't know the frickin' word. Anyway, so this movie, of course, takes 27 years, and the Losers Club are back, and they are here to stop Pennywise. And right out the gate, I really like the adult Losers Club. What really blew my mind was finding out Isaiah Mustafa, who is really the Old Spice guy. Doesn't that blow your freaking mind? Like, the fucking, the fucking, Old Spice guy is Mike in this movie. Oh my god! Like, doesn't that blow your mind? But the real standouts are, of course, Bill Hader as Richie, and you also have, of course, James McAvoy and Jessica Chastain as Beverly, Bill and Beverly, respectively. I think I just rhymed. But I think the entire Losers cast was very well done. Everyone gets a chance to, have a little shine here and there. All the adult actors are very well done, and they absolutely have some great spotlights in here. I think they have some really great chemistry in this film. They really do sell the horror in here. Even Pennywise coming back was also really fun, because, yeah, Bill Skarsgård, definitely with his performance as Pennywise, cements why he's now looked at as, like, an icon of horror again. No disrespect to, of course, Tim Curry's, Pennywise. And in fact, there's actually some great references to Tim Curry's Pennywise. But it's like, this is what I like about the movie, like this movie and the last movie, is that the director and the cast clearly love to have little Easter eggs for you to go Easter egg hunting in the movie. And there's some I caught, and some I'm gonna have to rewind and watch again when I get this thing on DVD, or I rent it or whatever. Bottom line, there's some neat little Easter eggs to Tim Curry's Pennywise, like there was in the first movie. And there's a great little cameo by a certain author of this movie that was really fun. And I honestly was expecting a little more with him, but I was like, oh, okay, it's just a fun little cameo. At least he's cameoing in this movie. So I wonder. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's Stephen King. Stephen King makes a cameo in this movie. Like, he Stan Lee's it up. He's, like, and it makes me wonder, because he's only made a cameo in only a few of his movies, but I don't know if they're gonna try to make Stephen King the new Stan Lee, since we're getting such a wave of Stephen King movies, like, of course, with Dr. Sleep coming out, I think, November, and after that, you've got, like, Salem's Lot, and all that. I didn't see him in the Pet Sematary remake, but yeah. I think he also cameoed in Castle Rock, but I'm going off tangent. The movie, yes, is as long. I'm not shitting you. The movie is just as long as Avengers Endgame. But unlike Avengers Endgame, where you don't feel it, and you actually feel like, oh, I wish there were more, this is like, there are some points in here where you feel the length. You really do feel the length of the movie in while you're sitting there in the theater. You're sitting there like, oh my god. And also, there are some moments in here that feel like they get cut out. And even the director said that, yeah, there's an hour and a half's worth of content in this movie that he had to cut out. And I was like, well, it shows in some points. Because I feel like there are some moments in here I was like, wait, why didn't we bring that up sooner? Why didn't we, why wasn't that mentioned? It was also cool to see the original kids come back, which I'm pretty sure they used CGI. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure they used some CGI on some of the kids in this movie. I have this very funny feeling that they used CGI for some of the kids in this movie. Because, yeah, some of them got older, some of them got taller. And I imagine, there had to have been some CGI touch-up. And they still show that they can still act. Of course, Finn Wolfhard and all of that. I feel like, yeah, they can still act. And I actually would like to see, I wouldn't mind seeing a director's cut of not just this movie, but with the first movie mixed together. Wouldn't it be cool to see, if Lord of the Rings, let's be honest, if Lord of the Rings can get away with, a 12-hour cut of their movies, I think we can get away with an It movie that is spliced together of the first movie with also with the scenes from that the director wanted to use for that movie and for the second movie, and blend it all together for a 6-hour horror epic. I'm just saying, if Lord of the Rings can do it, why can't we do it as well? Anyway, also, before I forget, because there's this great moment when I was talking about Easter eggs, there's a moment in here that references The Thing. I'm not going to spoil it I'm not going to explain the scene, but it was there was a moment where I was like, oh, this is The Thing. And one of the characters quotes the movie to hit it home. And not a, did you catch it kind of reference? It's more oh, I get it. I'm not going to spoil it, but if you are a fan of John Carpenter's The Thing, then you are, you're going to know that scene when you see it. You are definitely going to know that scene when you see it. What else did I want to say about this movie? I also think this movie also depends a little too much on jump scares, unlike the first movie that could really do some shock horror in there. This movie, while it does have some great shock horror in there, I think it depended a little too much on jump scares. I was oh, jump scare incoming. And it's blatant jump scares in here. Blatant use of jump scares in this movie, where I was yep, here comes a jump scare, and 3, 2, jump scare. Even the first movie, when it did use jump scares, it was unexpected. You didn't see it coming. This time, while you do get some unexpected jump scares and some great horror in here, this movie, I feel depends a little too much on jump scares than the first one did. Anyway, so, also, I will, and this is no fault to the movie, I think it's just more of a fault to the book, and as well as the story on a whole, is that Henry Bowers shows up, and I know it's not a spoiler, but Henry Bowers shows back up, and I feel they could have just cut Bowers out of this movie entirely, and nothing would have changed. Really, and I know, even in the original book, when Bowers came back, to torment the Losers Club, it didn't feel why was this here? It had more of a major effect in the first movie. But in the second movie, and in the second half of the story, bringing Bowers back just made you go, why was he here in the first place? Why did he need to be here at all? So, yeah. Anyway, I like this movie very much. I thought it was I didn't think it was, I do have my problems with the first movie, but I still like the first movie. This one, while it does have its faults, I think people are giving it a little too much hate, but at the same time, I will say that it's a little too long. There are some plot lines in here that just felt why did that need to be here? The Bowers thing could have been cut out. But again, you can make that argument for, the story on itself. I would also say that it's just a little too long. Some of the scares are predictable, but the acting is what carries this movie. The acting, I think, is the big thing that carries this movie and really sells it. And, of course, Pennywise. Again, no disrespect to Tim Curry, but Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise is what really makes this movie great. The climax is very well done, and I kind of enjoyed the ending. I kind of like the ending. So I don't think this movie deserves the hate it's getting on. I don't know why, but again, I think the main reason is that the first movie back in 2017 held such a high estate, held a high mantle that I don't think whatever the second movie could have done would have been, suffice it to say, I don't think the second movie could have lived up to, because there was so much hype for the first movie and so much praise for the first movie. Anyway, so there you go, guys. If you've seen It Chapter 2, you guys tell me in the comments below, what'd you guys think of it? Like it? Hate it? Comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys later.